All right, y'all. In a world where it was a show, that's what we got to review. A show called Backlash 2025, right here on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. The only podcast as always, and I mean always, an instant classic. And look. I know Justin has the belt, but he cheated. It was a roll-up pin, and I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm never playing this game again. And that sorry, wrong story. Anywho. We are back once again to give our thoughts on Backlash 2025. So get your popcorn, get your drink ready, and y'all can hang out with us for just a little bit. Just a little bit of time, just a smidgen, little time, just to hang out with us and see what's going on. Well, popcorn, drink, we'll be right back.
You know who made it.
All right, y'all, what is going on, good people? We back once again. Welcome into the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that, as always, I mean always, Justin means always, Casey means always, and you, of course, appreciate y'all for coming by, means always, an Instant Classic. Look, man, look.
Who is Casey?
Sorry, the true chosen means always, an Instant Classic. Okay, let's jump into this. Back in
Hold on. Put me on the big screen for a minute. Put me.
Right.
Don't do that.
We got a big screen request.
Put me on the big screen.
I think there's a promo. There's a promo coming, probably directed at Tanner.
Don't. God. Okay, shut it
you
off
ready
now.
for this?
Cut it.
And your new ICWP prediction champion, the one and only, the Juggernaut. Yes, I am your prediction champion. You know, I want to.
By default.
I didn't
By
know Jordan,
default.
I didn't know Jordan Grace was here.
I am not the Jordan Grace. I am not. This is a different Juggernaut. You know, that's copyright infringement. She still needs to give me the money. You know, because I am the original Juggernaut. She probably kicked my ass. Not gonna lie. But I just want to, you know,
Can we book that?
Jordan Grace and I'll let her
Watch along.
Yeah,
watch along.
I want to see that.
But I just want to, thank DJ and the True Chosen and Adam and Tanner. I just want to thank everybody.
You, Mark,
on this victory.
You vanilla baby faced Mark.
I want to thank everybody because you guys came close. But listen, it was a sweep. You won with you guys.
Wait a minute. You won on a technicality.
You literally won on a technicality.
You're lucky because if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have won on that technicality. So actually, what you should be doing is you should be counting your lucky stars.
Listen, it doesn't matter how you get it done as long as you get it done. And you're gonna have to prowl this title off of my body, off of my dead body, because I'm not taking this.
The next time, got it.
I'm not losing anytime soon. You're gonna have to prowl it off of me. And Money in the Bank. Next one is Money in the Bank.
Okay.
I ain't losing this. We got the newest member here.
We got a very special guest.
A very special guest. Wow. He is the statistician of the IWC. He is the biggest Liv Morgan mark out there.
Oh,
we got
I don't see anybody
kicking it with Leo.
Does he ever punt it? Or does he ever punt it at all, or just kicking it?
We're kicking it with Leo right now. What's going on, Leo?
Yo, what's good, everybody?
What's up, Leo? Have I met you before?
No, you haven't met Leo yet.
I feel like I've watched you from afar.
You probably watched.
Maybe you have.
That's a little creepy. That's a little.
Shut up.
It's uncomfortable.
That's not what I meant.
That's what
Where's
you
the
said.
restraining order when I need it?
But let's jump into it. Backlash. Real quick, I want to start off with a quick question for y'all. What was your favorite match of the night? I want your best and your worst. All right, your best.
Not Pat McAfee and Gunther.
That was your
best match. Best
That was
match.
the worst match I've seen in a long time.
Ooh, it's tough because like I enjoyed most of. Okay, best match, Women's Intercontinental Championship. I enjoyed that match. Worst match, unfortunately, I love the guy Dominic Mysterio versus Penta. I I just felt like that match was just predictable. We kind of knew it was gonna happen. Shenanigans. It took me out of it. It took me out of the match. I'm sorry. We already knew Dominic was going to retain. It was just like felt like a waste of time. It could have been anybody else, and now we're off to the races with El Grande Americano and Penta, which I hope is going to be a good match.
Okay. I mean, considering what El Grande Americano did with Ray Phoenix, I think it's going to be real good. I'm excited for that one. I think for me, I feel like can I say this without getting canceled on the ICWP here? John Cena, Randy Orton. I mean, the callbacks, like the history of it, the
For a
story
second,
of
I
it.
thought you were gonna say Gunther and Pat, and I was gonna.
I should have. I should have said it.
Piss off the true chosen.
I mean, I think the callbacks, the history of it, like, you know, growing up with it, understanding like that we hated it for a little bit, like all of that together, I think, and you know, kind of like I said, the callbacks of within the match that kind of, you know, brought you back a little bit. There were some fun counters that sometimes you even forgot that even were callbacks, but it was still fun. And then I think out of the worst, it got to be McAfee and Gunther. I think the way it was booked, the way it was, I think that's kind of it just Pat McAfee looked too good for who Gunther is and how dominant Gunther is. If Gunther was anybody else, maybe you might have a chance. If he's Adam Cole, maybe you might have a better chance. But Gunther is the most dominant champion of all time, at least Intercontinental Championship wise, and at least NXT UK wise, right? So like, I expected a little bit more from his world title run, but I think the audience got upset about it, and it was kind of unfortunate because it's the same run he's always had. He's just been dominant, and that's how it's been. But Casey, what do you think?
I'm sorry, who?
Tippity top, lowity low.
The true chosen.
Thank you.
Chosen. Say his name correctly. Come
the
on,
false
DJ.
Trojan.
Say his name, and he appears. I believe in the chosen. Anyway, if Adam was here, he would have got a kick out of that. I don't necessarily have a best. It was. I feel like for me, Backlash was just generally from top to bottom a good pay per view. There wasn't anything that really jumped out to me as like, oh, this is the best match. This stood out to me. It was just all good in general. The worst again, and I will vent about this match until my lungs give out, and I have vented to everyone who will listen. Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Love Pat McAfee. That match lasting that long made no sense at all. And being as competitive as it was made no sense at all. Especially for a commentator versus somebody who has been built up as this monster who has basically run roughshod through pretty much everybody that he's faced in the WWE. And then he has a 15-minute competitive match where he struggles at the end to take him out with a submission? No, absolutely not. But well, I'm sure we'll get to more of that when we officially talk about the match. But yeah, that one to me, that I don't know whoever booked that match needs to be fired, even if it's Triple H. Fire him.
Damn.
All right, Justin, what do you think?
You know what? I think the best match of the night for me probably was the Women's Intercontinental Championship match.
False.
Like the chemistry that they had in the ring together, like going into the show, yeah, I mean, I wasn't really, like looking forward to the match, but going out, after the show, I was like, man, this was probably the best match of the night. Like they have like really good chemistry in the ring, and it's like I'm happy that they're finally giving Lyra Valkyria, time to speak on the mic, and like she's been roasting Becky Lynch in these segments and these promos. So yeah, I have to say, yeah, probably the women's Intercontinental Championship match was the best match.
So while we're on that, because of course we'll jump back to the top match of the night, but just while we're on that match in particular, plus two of you guys said that was your favorite match. Let's go ahead and jump into it, because for me, I was a little surprised. Like, I think the reason why this match was as good as it was not only because these two are talented, but I think the surprise of Lyra winning, I think, added that much more to it, because I didn't expect Lyra to win. I expected Becky to come in, kind of run roughshod. It was going to be a good match, but she's just coming back. Like, I expected it to be kind of one of those situations where she's going to come in immediately back to a title that really hasn't had a lot of meaning so far through this first run. But I'm gonna jump down to Leo real quick. You said it was your favorite match. Go ahead and give us why.
I mean, for one, the chemistry that they have with each other. Going back to NXT, I feel like people look at Lyra, it has all the potential in the world to be something really special. I just don't think she's really been given an opportunity to show how really good she is. And I think with this feud, a lot of people were thinking Becky was going to get the win here. And I was kind of 50-50 as well. But I kind of look at the same thing with the whole Tiffany feud going into WrestleMania with Charlotte. Tiffany needed the win to not only establish herself as a champion, but as a character. And I look at the same thing with Lyra. If Lyra gets the win, that's a big deal for her, gets her over as a champion, as a character. Now we're seeing more momentum behind Lyra just because of that win. We already know what it's still going to lead to. We're probably going to get a rematch because we know that, Saturday Night Main Event's coming up. We got Money in the Bank coming up. We got Evolution coming up. At some point in time, we're going to have Bayley come back at one of these, shows, and then we'll probably lead into a triple threat, which I think at that point, maybe we can have Becky be either the champion or about to become champion, and then we can kind of spring off into a singles feud. But I think Lyra needed this win. Lyra needed the win more than Becky, because Becky's already a made star. She's going to win the championship eventually. It's pretty much a foregone conclusion at this point. She's going to win. But at least at the same time, we're giving Lyra a much needed win that can help elevate her to the next level.
Okay. Justin, why was this your favorite match?
Like Leo kind of, I kind of want to piggyback off of Leo, like he was saying, the chemistry that they have, like the transitions that they were doing in the match, even going back to their the match that they had in NXT, that was a really good match, and like Leo said, Lyra needed this win to catapult her, up into the next stratosphere, and to cement her, hey, she's legit, she can hang with the best of them. She can hang with the 4 horsewomen, and yeah, that's why I thought was the best match.
She's 2-0.
She is 2-0.
Casey, you got any more thoughts on this match to wrap this one up? Sorry, the True Chosen. I keep forgetting.
Thank you. It's literally right on the screen. It's right there.
He doesn't have his glasses on. He doesn't have his spectacles on, and
he is an old man, and it's I can't blame him. And
you should know.
Adam says that we need to restart the show, so we need to just restart the show. He's coming in. He'll be here in 45 minutes, apparently, because that's how he rolls. I thought this was a good match. There wasn't anything. I wasn't necessarily looking forward to this match. I think for me, just the kind of surprise at the end that Lyra actually did win, because I think we all had picked Becky, or pretty much all of us had picked that Becky was going to win. So it was kind of a surprise that Lyra actually got the win, which I think was the right choice. But that was a good kind of feel good moment, I guess, for the babyface to kind of ink out a win that a lot of people didn't think she was going to get. But I'm definitely curious to see more of her, because I haven't seen too much of her. I haven't seen many of her matches, and I definitely want to kind of go back and watch more and kind of get more of an idea of her, in-ring style, her gimmick, all that stuff. But I'm definitely, it's definitely piqued my interest in her.
Okay, let's go. Let's jump down to, at least for two of us, our worst match of the night, which is Gunther and Pat McAfee. Casey, you want to start us off? Because I feel like you got a lot to say. Sorry, True Chosen, you want to start us off? False, not so chosen. You want to start us off?
I feel like we should do the card in order because we have to wait for DJ or for Adam
I'm right
because he
here.
has a lot to say. There he is. Oh my God, it's the chosen.
Right here.
Hello.
The second chosen. You
Anyway,
got chosen 1 and chosen 2.
he can give his thoughts on the other match if he wants to
Please
first.
not start the podcast. If you have, we have to restart it. That is what Chosen's do.
Okay, we gotta go.
We have to
Yeah,
restart,
gotta
the
restart
whole-
this. Yeah, we gotta restart. We gotta restart the whole thing.
So real quick, Adam, we were talking about. So basically, we were giving our favorite match and our least favorite match of this show, and I'll let you give that as well. But we were also, because Leo and Justin said their favorite match of the show was Lyra versus Becky. So we were talking about that. So just hop on in and let us know what your favorite match is, your least favorite match, and then of course Lyra and Becky.
You have to unmute yourself.
I think you're muted, Adam. Or the second chosen.
He says, "Hang on, God."
Or is he
Oh my.
or is he the first chosen?
Or is
Learn how to use technology, you old man.
Casey, is he bowling with you?
I hate y'all. It was a very common injury that I sustained. Y'all shut the hell up.
Wait, so yeah, tell us about that bowling injury. Like what? So you got an injury bowling?
Casey decided to be Roy Munson from Kingpin. Sorry, I was ootin' a boot.
You was
I am
the
now
boot?
back where I needed to be. So, what did you say, DJ? You wanted me to go on an 18-minute promo about Logan Paul? I will gladly do so in song form.
No, I wanted you to first off give your thoughts on Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch, because that was a favorite match, and also it was that your match of the night. Let's put it
That was not my match of the night. I did enjoy it, but for me, it was Orton and Cena. Just because it was such a better main event than Mania was.
Yep.
Okay.
There was excitement. I mean, anytime Randy could RKO a bunch of guys, especially one that on impact just flew up in the air, back to his feet. But no, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. Dom and Penta, that was fun. I mean, was not a bad card. And Lyra and Becky was fine. But I definitely would not say that was my favorite match. Lyra valedictorian.
What was your least favorite match?
Was Logan Paul on the show? Because that would be the answer.
I thought the Fatal 4-Way was cool.
Which one?
Yes. No
The Fatal
breaks.
4-Way. The Fatal 4-Way I thought was
for
decent.
Sure. For sure.
Yeah. Should we jump into the Fatal 4-Way?
We also talked about the 4-way. Yeah, we've
sure.
been all over around this card.
No, because here's the thing. I too like the Fatal 4-Way because the winner was somebody I embraced because I once was fat too.
Yo.
Fat 2, you get it? Fat 2?
They need to turn this
Yes.
man's face. Is like his interactions with it he has, like when you see him and interviews and stuff like that. He just seems like a chill person. Like he's the type of person I wouldn't want to hang out with, but probably wouldn't want to cross in any way, shape, or form. Because then that's my death sentence.
Yeah, I think that's the thing about Fatu. I mean, I've loved him as we've gotten more mic work from him. You know, like I think that's been kind of he's already over, but I think it's just helped to get him over even more by letting him talk and letting him be himself.
Okay, well, we have to give credit to the greatest mic worker of the entire bloodline, Tongaloa.
The real
ladies
name.
ladies and gentlemen, bitch ass hoes, and Flamin' Hot Doritos was the greatest line I've ever heard.
So I did enjoy the Fatal 4-Way. I don't think it was as good as the Fatal 4-Way we got at Mania, but
No.
it still was good. I feel like everybody looked good in the match. And I mean, you had a lot of heavy hitters in this match with Priest and McIntyre. You know, they're still. I'm kind of surprised that they're still feuding, but they're still feuding, which I think is still, you know, it's still a good feud. And then Fatu and LA Knight, you know, kind of like Casey has said in the past. I don't feel like LA Knight necessarily needs the title, but I feel like Fatu definitely, like, people were ready for him to win it, and I think him retaining, I think, was also good. But I mean, they did a good job of making you feel like this could go in a variety of different directions within the match. But Justin, if you're still there, what did you think of the Fatal 4-Way for the United States title? Which he might not be there anymore.
Justino.
Oh, okay. Never mind. He's back.
Justine.
He had to adjust.
He wanted to be Jacob.
You can put the
Fatu so
belt
bad.
down. It's a fake title. You're a paper champion.
You look like
You're
one
also
of
a
the
media
Knights
champion.
of Neve from Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
I love
We
that
are the
girl.
Why does he
Knights
look
of
like?
Fate.
Why does he look like a young Paul Heyman?
No, he's got to have bigger jowls.
It's me.
Okay, so what were
If
you
my
saying?
aunt
The Fatal
had
4-Way.
testicles.
Oh, the Fatal 4-Way? Oh, yeah, that match was really fun. That match was, as Jacob Fatu likes to say, all gas, no brakes. Yeah, that match was fun. I mean, every guy did what they needed to do in the match. But there was one spot when Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, they were fighting in the crowd, and they did that table spot, the South of Heaven, through that table. I thought Drew McIntyre, I thought he hurt the back of his head. Like, oh, hopefully he didn't hurt himself too bad.
I think he did, didn't he?
They said he did or whatever. It looked like he was bleeding just a little bit, but they said he's okay.
And you know, I had the word of championship, like the fat two. You know that the fat guy, the fat guy. Yes, the man who does.
He's fat
Prince,
too.
The man that will kill. The man that probably will kill you.
Please say that to his
face.
face.
No.
Please say.
He would. Nah.
He would kill me.
We know Jug's gonna give him all the money. Give him all his money.
Listen, me and Jordan Grace are gonna have a match because listen, we're gonna fight for the
She'll kill
right
you.
of the Juggernaut, the real Juggernaut.
He's gonna
okay?
destroy you.
I'm the real Juggernaut.
She will
over here.
turn you into a pillar of salt.
Yes, this is.
Y'all seen what happened when Rhea faced Akira Tozawa, didn't you? That's
Hey, I
exactly
was
what
there
happened.
for that. I was there for that. That was
I mean, that's
Pure
not a
gold.
chant. That was the sound of him getting hit. Ha! Ha!
no, but no, it was a fun match. I'm happy Jacob Fatu retained, but a surprising thing, you know, like we heard rumors about, you know, Jeff Cobb, you know, that he was signed by WWE, but you know, we didn't know when he was gonna, you know, be showing up. But yeah, he showed up here. Well, and someone commented like on this.
Wow, thanks for the spoiler, jerk.
I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody watched the PLE already or the pay-per-view already. But if you haven't, I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. But you know, I'm actually not sorry because I'm the
Why would you be
spoiler.
watching a review if? Never mind.
You know what? Here's what we do: we do the review and then we do the predictions. You know, that's how we do here.
Yeah, are you new here,
Okay,
DJ?
well, Justin, while I got you here, I would like to critique one statement you made on the prediction show when you're like, this match can go either way. And I'm like, that's usually how a one-on-one fight actually happens.
That's generally how it works.
Yes. This is how it works.
Please take the belt off. You're like trying to do the hand gestures in front of the belt. Well, listen here. What I liked about this match was
I like that about this match. I'm doing a little bit of voodoo stuff.
Casey,
bubbly.
what did you think of the 4-way match?
I thought it was a good, solid match. And Adam had sent me a tickety tack on the tickety tack. That apparently people are saying that LA Knight can't wrestle. Where? What? This proves to me that wrestling fans, this generation of wrestling fans, don't understand wrestling at all.
They don't.
If
Uh,
it's not your cup of tea, that's one thing. But
Yeah.
it is objectively wrong to say that he can't wrestle.
it's
Yeah, don't say that in front of
Yeah,
LA Knight.
John
though, 'cause he
Cena
probably
can't
will get
wrestle, and he
toasted.
was the most over athlete on their roster for 20 years.
exactly. But again, like you were saying, LA Knight does not need the championship. He doesn't. His mic work, his gimmick,
Yeah.
him himself gets him over.
Dummy.
Period.
Yeah.
I would even argue that Fatu doesn't need a title. I mean, yes, obviously they want him to have the title, and I understand it, but he doesn't need it either. He is. He could literally go his whole run in WWE, depending on how long it lasts. I don't know. Not having a single title, and he would be over the entire time. Just the way he is, how he carries himself, how he his gimmick, his personality. You want to watch him. You want to hear what he has to say. You want to see what he's going to do. Right? And then, Jeff Cobb debuting, I was honestly surprised. I did not see that coming. I was pleasantly surprised. A little bit confused because he's not Samoan and he's not part of the bloodline.
He's close enough.
He's
I
close.
mean, he's from an island. He's from an
But I
island.
mean, they convinced us that Yokozuna was Japanese. So
Wait a minute.
Now
Is
you
that-
just wait a damn minute, sir. You trying to tell me that my Yokozuna? You mean to tell me that man was not from the island of Polynesia? I mean Japan.
he was from an island, just not Japan.
Also, Yokozuna to this day, he's still eating at that one restaurant. He's still doing
Okay,
that segment.
so just a little insight into that joke. Okay, we watched. I don't know. Was it an old show or were they talking about Yoko specifically?
I think it was an old show.
Yeah, it was
of
an old
some
show.
sort.
Yeah, I think we were watching an old show and they kept showing this vignette of Yoko eating all of this food in this vignette. So ever since then, I'm like, just an update. Yoko is still eating.
Adam, what do you think of the Fatal 4-Way?
Yeah, that was. I'm glad they started with it. Since they had the surprise, I'm surprised it opened it, whatever. But at least that had, you had a lot of high energy, a lot of noise right out of the gate with it. But no, it was definitely. I don't think it was, to your point. I don't think it was as good as the Fatal 4-Way at Mania, whatever. But this was definitely solid, and Fatu definitely needed to go back over. But also, I did like just the little pause from Fatu when Cobb did show up. And Solo's like, hey, it's all you now. But he still was just like, bro, I don't need help. What are you doing? Which is what I was wanting at Mania. But anyway, that's
and they have history too, right?
Yes, they do.
MLW.
So I mean, that'll be fun because I mean, I wasn't extremely impressed by Jeff Cobb showing up, but I'm familiar with him, but I'm not very familiar with him. But as I've seen more of him throughout the week,
perfectly, they will treat him like the monster that he should be.
Okay, because I mean I've seen some things throughout the week, and I'm like, okay, I didn't realize who we were dealing with, so I'm excited.
And my question was, because I mean, obviously we're in the Paul Levesque era, we're not in the Vince McMahon era. But my question was, will they, kind of go back to their history in MLW? Because for so long it's been anything that happens outside of WWE doesn't count. It doesn't matter. So it's like, okay, will they? I hope they do. But
they
again,
will.
you have to for the casual fans, show video packages, show things, like show them their history, which a lot of times they fail to do. I think they're getting better with Triple H, but and we've said this about pretty much every company. You have to spoon feed us like we don't know anything.
Correct.
and not even necessarily for us either. Of course, it's for the casuals, because that was the whole Adam, I don't know if you heard this conversation on the preview, but we're kind of talking about the disconnect between like NXT right now and the main roster still.
No, and I was just going to say that they've been way better with showing stuff that was not NXT or anything WWE centric. I forget who they did it with, but they actually acknowledged, I think it might have been AJ, but they acknowledged his time at TNA. I mean, that could be all you need. And even with that, they may not show MLW just because Court had that lawsuit with them for the longest time. But either way, you could show ROH, and you don't have to overly glorify, but just say in the corner, courtesy of ROH Wrestling. That's all.
Or they could show New Japan.
Or New Japan, yeah, exactly.
I don't think they'll show us. They probably won't show us AEW stuff because he done some stuff in AEW.
Well, he was never there. He was there like what, twice?
Yeah, he was there for like Forbidden Door.
Does AEW own the library for ROH? I wonder if they can even use it.
Yeah, they do own the library for ROH.
Yeah, but he may have, but they may have some agreed upon. They might have an agreed upon statement saying that if you're gonna show it, you have to mention us.
Yeah,
because that happened before Tony took it over.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, because you mentioned that AJ guy again, and I know Tanner's not here. Can somebody again? Is he new? Is he because again he lost clean to Logan Paul. So I mean, I need Tanner to be in here to explain to me who this AJ fella is.
This is not going to happen. He does not deserve to get beat clean in the ring.
Leah, what did you think of the Fatal 4-Way to open the show?
I mean, I feel like it needed to open the show. I feel like with a lot of the matches that we did have, I think that was the best case scenario for a match to open it. I think Jacob Fatu was the right winner here. Even though part of me would love to see a visual where Drew McIntyre wins the U.S. Championship, because I think, for one, I think he can do some great work with the title. Second, it's a title that he's never held in his career yet. And I'm looking forward to seeing if we do get a Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu feud, because I think that can be really, really good. Just letting those two go out there and wreak havoc with each other, I think that sells. I know a lot of people might make the argument that maybe Solo is going to be the guy to take the U.S. title if they decide to have Jacob and Solo with Jeff Cobb in Solo's corner, and then you got the rest of the Tongans. That's possible, but Solo right now with his booking just does not move me as next U.S. champion. It doesn't. I feel like if anybody should be taking that title from him, it should be Drew McIntyre. Whenever he finishes feud with Damian, give us the match that we want. Like Batista said, give me what I want. Give me Drew. Give me Drew. Give me Jacob at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I like that.
That's all you got to do.
And Ming as a special guest referee.
Yes.
To Dominic and Penta, I mean, I thought this was another enjoyable match. I liked it. Dominic's one of those guys where, like, as much as I enjoy watching him in the ring, I feel like, and his like progression and everything, he always strikes me as if he could lose at any moment. So like, I never go into any of his matches thinking that he may actually win. So honestly, it's kind of surprising sometimes when he does, because he hasn't had a lot of singles titles. He had the North American title for a little bit of time, and then of course this. So I kind of have this thought process that he could lose at any time, and especially in this match in particular, because we know Penta's set up to be successful, whether he's going to win the title or not. So there's that. But
Miedo.
Justin, what do you think of the Intercontinental Championship match?
I gotta say, this match was overly booked here. I mean, there have reasons, for it to be overbooked like this. I mean, we had so many interference here. You had Carlito coming down. The Judgment Day was coming down. You have Finn Balor. He was being very slimy out there. I feel like eventually, maybe Finn Balor might be the one to eventually cost Dom his title. And then, of course, you had Grande Americano, the best luchador in professional wrestling.
Gable.
No, I'm sorry. No, Adam, no, that is not the same person. They're two different people.
Chad
They
wasn't even
were
on the
side by
card.
side. Chad wasn't even on the card, so that is Grande Americano, okay? You are very wrong over there. Don't say that's Chad Gable because they don't look the same at all. Okay? We're gonna get a
and
one-on-one
Chad
match.
Gable
yes, and
doesn't wear
Christopher
a
Daniels
mask.
wasn't Curry Man. You're right. You're right.
Wait, who did they say was Suicide back in the day?
I
Who
don't know. There
was?
was like 70 of them.
There was like seven. There were like so many.
I
There was
think
The
Suicides.
entire
originally
TJP, there
roster
was
was
Austin
Suicide.
Aries.
What's that?
TJP,
Christopher Daniels, I
Austin
think,
Aries.
was
Christopher
one.
Daniels.
He was one time too.
Yeah, I think so.
And then TJP was for a little bit.
Aries. I was one.
Truth Chosen. What do you think?
Which truth
I
of
was-
chosen?
I was also Suicide. I overcame it though.
What to be seen, Carl?
You overcame
So-
it though. Hey,
Which-
that's dark. That's dark there. Okay, that's really dark.
That's why I'm wearing sunglasses.
You know why are you wearing sunglasses when you're inside?
So I can.
Exactly. So which chosen is going? Which one?
Rochambeau.
All right, I'll just go.
The one that doesn't love bowling.
Well, technically, we both love bowling.
Go
too.
at the same time.
We're very good at bowling too. Anyway, as I was about to say,
I mean, I've seen you
I
both.
thought shut up. I thought this was a good match. I thought it was very competitive. I still don't like how large Carlito has become. Because he wasn't that big originally.
That's
And he
true.
got really I hate all y'all. But he makes everyone in that group look so small in comparison. It doesn't work. Also,
Except for
and I've said this before. I think Adam has also said this before. Dom needs to stop doing the 619 because he's too tall to do it. It doesn't look good. Knock it off. Try something else. It's not even your dad's move. Like it's Ray's move. It's not Eddie's move. Come on. Yeah, I thought it was a good match. We knew that Penta wasn't going to win because he doesn't need a title yet. He's already over. He was over before he came. Like he's one of those guys that everyone either has watched or is a fan of or has heard of. I don't think there's many people who haven't at least heard of Penta before. So he doesn't need a title yet. He's over without anything.
Okay. Adam, what you think?
There should have been a run-in from his brother, Hexagon El Doth. You already knew my feelings for the matter. I love Penta so much, and no, he doesn't need it, but I don't think Dom needs it either. Again, he is such a great slimy heel. I hate it that the fans cheer him like he is like he's a Ricky Morton babyface. It is that we have killed psychology. But yes, I think we all collectively knew that Penta was not going to win, even though Gable interfered. But
excuse me, am I going to have to school you again? That is not Chad Gable. That is El Grande Americano.
Chad
sir,
Gable
you are
doesn't
not
wear-
They're gonna
actually
have
the
a match.
Juggernaut. You are not an X-Men villain.
Chad Gable does not wear a mask.
And by the way, I'm pretty sure Carlito weighs more than everybody in that match combined.
He does.
They're going to have a match at SummerSlam. El Grande Americano and Chad Gable. Yes, book it. Book it. Do something AI. Yes, it's going to be amazing. It's
I would
gonna
Or
Leo,
unless you're
they're
Linda
different people.
McMahon, it's A1.
Leo, what do you think?
Like I said, I mean that match. I'm gonna be honest, and I love both competitors. I feel like that match didn't need to be on Backlash. I feel like that match just felt like a Raw main event for me personally. It was still solid, don't get me wrong, but when you had other things on the show, I feel like it just kind of failed in comparison to an extent. Dominic did get the win. I know we're teasing some stuff between him and Judgment Day, which is probably gonna happen sooner rather than later. The only good thing is he made Liv Morgan one of the best in WWE, period, point blank, in the story, proud by hitting the Oblivion like a star. Now that
that was
I
pretty
can,
nice. That
now
was
that
honestly
that,
nice.
that was cool. I enjoyed seeing him hit the Oblivion, even though it would never compare to Liv Morgan, unfortunately. At least it's a good second place. But I felt like the match was, like I said, it was mid. I mean, we all knew what was gonna happen. I felt like the match could have realistically been on Raw. You could have done something else, maybe. But I mean, like I said, it was mid.
Okay. Have we given our all of our thoughts on Gunther, Pat McAfee, or should we?
I don't think we have.
I don't think
You
we
know,
have,
I
no.
don't.
We
I don't think
definitely
I did.
haven't.
I didn't.
Okay.
We
I
haven't.
just want to make
We
sure.
could talk about that all day.
So for me, real quick, I mean, just look.
We had to go big
Look
screen for this one.
for me. The issue that I have is just Pat. Why is Pat McAfee? Why is he so competitive with Gunther? Gunther is the most dominant champion in WWE history.
Not anymore.
Ever.
He's not.
Why?
Nope.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna kick it to y'all because I could talk all day and I'm not gonna do it. Let's see. Justin, what you think?
This match did not need to go that long. Like, it could have been a 5-minute match. I mean, Pat McAfee, he got a little bit of offense in the match, but like
a little bit.
he got some offense in. I mean,
He got half the damn match, which is way more than he should have.
he was hitting some nice. He was hitting some PKs. He was hitting some nice punt kicks. I mean, there were some okay chops that he was doing, but I mean, look, I mean, his chest was looking like hamburger meat, raw hamburger meat, after Gunther was done with him. I thought Michael Cole was going to do a little bit more in the match. I thought maybe he would have got a chop or something.
Why?
Why are you trying to kill this thing?
That might have killed Michael Cole. Not gonna lie.
I think Michael Cole should have hit Gunther with the Canadian Destroyer.
Michael Cole should have. Yeah, he should have hit him something huge.
Hit him with the vertebraker.
The vertebraker.
It's boss.
I thought, yeah, it was cool seeing Michael Cole. He was really over here in this. Man, they were just dragging this match out for so long. Like I said, it didn't be that long. Ultimately, the right guy went over here, which Gunther should have went over that, which I was good. And yeah, he's going to be getting his rematch clause on June 9th. June 9th. After Money Bank, which is really weird. I don't know why it's not happening at Money in the Bank. Like,
they don't do 2 world title matches on the same show unless it's SummerSlam or WrestleMania,
which is terrible. I don't know. Like, and I don't know. Yeah.
Well,
Goldberg's probably going to show up there.
Well, hear me out. Just have one belt. Don't have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unify the divisions properly, especially the tag team division.
Mm-hmm.
That tag team division bores me. At least
One company, one set of titles. What?
The True Chosen. You can go next.
Okay. All I'm gonna say, because I've ranted so much about this match, it should have lasted 5 minutes. 5 minutes. You have Pat McAfee come in, kind of, and I've compared this before, like James Ellsworth did with Braun Strowman. He gets some, for him, some good shots in that don't really affect Gunther because, again, he's a monster who has destroyed everyone in his path to this point, pretty much. And Gunther gives him one shot, he's down. Then for the rest of the match, yes, you have him toy with him. You have him beating on him, and especially towards Michael Cole, because that's the whole story of the match. He was trying to defend Michael Cole. So you have him just beating on Pat McAfee taunting Michael Cole. Michael Cole can't do anything. He's like, stop, that's enough. And then after that 5 minutes, he finally, pins him or whatever.
Can I
It
mention
should.
something, Casey, real quick? Can
No,
we
you can't.
can we keep the this is a question and it can be for the room. In your scenario, can we keep the false finish at least?
No.
No, we can if it happens within the first like 40 seconds. Because that would at least be plausible in the sense
Yeah.
that McAfee does not want to get destroyed. He may have been an athlete, but he's also not an idiot.
Yeah.
He's like,
Well,
there's no conceivable way that I can go toe to toe with this. I'll let you get to that, and then let me get my
the only reason I say that is because I thought the false finish was like sensible. Michael Cole was trying his best to help his friend get the win. I'm fine with that. Even if that happens within the 4-minute mark or whatever, it could be the literal end of the match. Like Pat McAfee's dead. He hits one move. Michael Cole helps out, and Gunther pushes him off at 1 or whatever it is.
But even then, again, that's too far in. But like here, I'll lay out my scenario because I see what you're saying. But even if it's 4 minutes in, it's still shite. Like, because again, Cole's the announcer, and I know that there's been booking scenarios throughout the years, but at least with the storyline he had with Lawler was still 60-something years old.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're pulling for the old guard to smack the crap out of this, mealy mouth younger guy, who's, kissing up to the Miz. But in this scenario, it would only make sense as if you're going to beat him, let it be a quick one, because he would have a legitimate gripe. You let it happen 4 minutes in, there's no way that Gunther would let that happen, or even for it to be any type of a possibility that someone was going to pull a fast one. It would have had to have been legit out of the gate, whatever the case, roll up,
Get that quick inside cradle.
Well, Jimmy Christmas, but just either way, I'll just get this out because we're all going to be pretty much saying the same thing. But it did not need to be. I'm not even saying that you beat McAfee, even if it was 5 minutes. It went beyond 5 minutes. It didn't need to go beyond 10. I could say that for sure. If McAfee wanted to get a couple of shots in, whatever though, but Gunther is like, where's this fly coming from? But once it reaches a certain apex, Gunther should have or would have said, okay, enough's enough. Chop, powerbomb, choke, boom, game over. Because they've treated Pat more like an announcer more than they have a guy that's actually had matches. Not to mention, this was the first match he had in 3 years? It, to me, was the same thing why I had a problem when Bad Bunny was so good in the tag match he had with Priest. I can't remember who they faced.
Miz and Morrison.
Like Miz and Morrison, thank you. Because he took it seriously, which I appreciated, but I'm like, again, the competitors can't beat a guy that's never been in the ring.
Or
And
even
Gunther
we go
can't
back
beat
to
a
that
guy
match.
that's hardly ever in the ring. He can't beat him in under 5
Well,
minutes or a little over 5 minutes.
And what offended me the most was at the end, he had to struggle to
Thank
get the
you.
submission.
Thank
Are you
you.
kidding me?
They were treating him like it was Austin and Brett.
Yeah, but and that was the other thing that got me too. Before we kick it to Leo, no pun intended. But that was the thing that got me too. Was I'm sitting there watching, and we were watching together, and it's kind of like, there's no way he's just gonna pass out. He cannot just pass out. He can't. Like he can't just there's no. You just had Gunther tap out at the last pay-per-view. There's no. He passed out.
and we're messing around. We're doing the Chosen thing, and like after a while, even we were like, okay, enough of this. This is stupid. And again, I love Pat McAfee, but this was so damaging to Gunther.
Yeah,
like Pat is gonna stay over because he's likable, college game day, entertaining, all that stuff. You didn't need to treat him like he's going for a title run.
And this will be the last point I have. But like I said, at least I was saying it to Adam. This also makes everybody that Gunther has beaten in the past
Look like
look
crap.
like look like shit.
Yes.
And those guys are actual professional wrestlers who have been doing this for years, some decades. Like, sorry,
I'm getting mad again.
Yeah.
It's just
Leo, what
because
did
again, imagine Tony Schiavone going toe to toe with Jericho for
Yeah.
more than 3 minutes, and that's
Yeah.
setting a low bar.
Leo, what did you think? Did you have the same sentiment, or you felt?
I mean, I kind of agree with you guys. Said I feel like I enjoy Pat McAfee matches. Don't get me wrong, but this would kind of felt like a little bit too long, in my personal opinion. Not to say that he's like a bad wrestler, but it's like it's Gunther we're talking about. This isn't Baron Corbin at SummerSlam 2021. We're talking about Gunther, who had one of the most dominant Intercontinental Championship reigns of all time, one of the most dominant NXT UK champions of all time, and then to literally go from that to losing his world championship to this, it's kind of just mind-boggling. Like, if you wanted to have him face somebody, that's fine, but we could have found a different opponent. Did it have to be Gunther? It could have been anybody else. You could have rolled the red carpet out for potentially Akira Tozawa, Otis, or Finn Balor if you wanted to, because Finn Balor just can't seem to get a win, for crying out loud.
Finn Balor, as Byron likes
Exactly.
to say.
Yeah, Finn Balor. But it's like you could have done something else with him, in my personal opinion. I feel like what would have been worse is if some way, somehow, after all of this, how deep they were in the match, some way, somehow, Pat McAfee won. Because for a split second, when I seen Michael Cole hold his leg, I was about to say, nowhere they're about to do this. I would have been confused and shocked. I would have been more concerned for the IWC, because they probably would have been losing their minds at the sight of literally Gunther to go from losing his world championship at WrestleMania to losing to Pat McAfee. That is the downfall. I literally said in someone's comments, I said, if he loses, that's it. You might as well pack your bags and head to Evolve immediately, because there's nothing else for you to do there.
Poor Walter.
And to
it's like-
piggyback off that real quick, I apologize, but like you were saying, they could have picked anybody else. You could have literally had anybody on the roster, and you could have still done the same story where somebody bullies Michael Cole, and Pat comes to their defense.
But not even just that. You could have done this with one of the boys, and they would have gotten over. Like, Pat doesn't need to get over.
He's already over.
Oh yeah.
It could have been like, an Akira Tozawa, or somebody who would be an underdog but is actually in the ring a lot more. But they were booking this as if Pat was going to win, like Leo said. But you would have to, it would be booking malfeasance if Pat would have won this, even with outside help. And if anything, why not have it be Wade? Why not have it be Wade? Whatever, he gives him, a quick shot to stun him. You can have Michael Cole, hold his foot, and then have Cole call the rest of the matches.
I was confused even with them doing this match. Like, if you wanted to have Gunther face somebody that I feel like would have been worth his time, you could have literally just gave Wade Barrett that. I would have loved to see Wade Barrett come out of retirement to have a run facing the likes of Gunther, facing the likes of Drew McIntyre, because they teased that going into WrestleMania. And I'm thinking, like, okay, are we really about to set up Wade Barrett versus Drew McIntyre, which would have been a great match? You could, especially with this run that John team is on right now, could you imagine Wade Barrett going after Cena for the WWE Championship? That would be fire, especially with the character that he has now. Like, all the years ago with the whole Nexus thing, he can bring that into the equation, and we can get interesting matches and stuff like that. But we're giving Pat McAfee a one-off
Yeah.
To,
And
for
it's
what?
not like Wade
What's
hasn't
next?
teased this stuff either.
Like,
Yeah,
what's
you know?
next?
and he's
What's
at least
next?
believable enough to stand up to Gunther, even in a commentary sense, because he used to be one of the boys.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it's like the way they keep doing this, like for some reason I fear they're probably gonna put him at some point in time in a title match. And I don't want that to happen. But how many times have they done this with celebrities challenging for titles?
It ultimately, and this will be my last thing. This furthers the insult. Paul is much better at booking than Vince is, but the thing is, this screams to the fans: it's fake, it's fake, it's fake. And like we know it's a work, but you still have to make me suspend my disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's jump into the main event. I'll be quick because I kind of gave my thoughts earlier. I mean, for me, this whole like Cena title run, Cena heel run is just everything right now for me. Like I'm biting on every word, I'm biting on every promo, everything that he does. I'm right there and I'm watching it. I don't care how boring the matches is. I don't care if they chant "You can't wrestle." I don't care any of it. You can't hear me at all. Go out and go back in. Yeah, there we go. So for me, like I just feel like Cena has me like reeled in, which I
Right.
think like ironically enough, that's his heel character, right? You need me more than I need you, right? Like
Mhm.
that's his whole thing. Like you owe me now. Like, you know, I feel like I've owed you for 20 some years, and like it's interesting because I keep biting on this, like maybe he'll change this thing here, maybe he'll come up with a new theme, maybe he'll like, and I think he's continued to have these moments where I'm like, I have to just keep watching to see how this goes. And another good thing that I'm starting to see, and this is outside of the match, and people keep pointing it out on you know the internet and everything too, is just the little Easter eggs they keep planning with him potentially turning face somewhere near the end of the year. He's got regret, like he's like I don't know, like he's so in the moment. When the time comes, he does what it takes to win. But after the fact, he's like, did I really need to do that? Like,
Yeah.
and they keep like, it's subtle, like, and that's the good part about it. Like, it's subtle. You might not even notice it, but like, he's never truly convinced when he wins. Like, at least with this match in particular, he's never truly convinced. It's more like, I don't know if I need to do that, but you know, I'm happy
He's gonna
about
do it
being,
regardless.
you know,
Yeah.
like I'm happy about making the history with this one. So, but definitely enjoyed this one. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, this match here, this brings me back to my childhood here. I mean, the history that both these guys have.
Your childhood was like last week.
Hey, the people don't need to know about that, okay? The people don't,
I mean,
don't need to know
they
about
they know
I
now.
mean, look, we know Casey's childhood was 30 years ago. So
that.
I mean, it
Hey.
literally was. It
Dang it.
literally was.
Should have been 40.
His childhood was like 60 years ago because he's an old man.
Hey,
Yes. No,
Adam's
this
older
match,
than me.
I think I'm the oldest one in here.
No,
No.
Casey's the oldest one. It's out.
Casey is the oldest one. He's because he's the true chosen. So the true chosen has to be the oldest,
I am the true elder.
the true elder. Yeah, this match was like very methodical. It had more of like a slower type of pace. They work. They have they bounce off each other. They have this doing the slower pace here, which was nice. And it was nice seeing different callbacks here in this match, which was cool. And seeing Nick Aldis eat the RKO, seeing Hurricane eat an RKO, seeing Jamie Noble, seeing all those guys, hit
That second
get
guy, whoever he
RKO'd.
was.
I don't know who the hell. I don't.
That
That
second guy was
guy.
the greatest thing I've ever seen.
That was the greatest RKO. Yeah, he bounced up and he sold that good. He sold that RKO really good. Of course, we had so many ref bumps in the match. We didn't just have one. We had, I think it was 3 ref bumps.
At least 3, yeah, 3.
Yeah, I believe it was 3 ref bumps. Really overbooked with that. Like you just blow on the referee and they get knocked over. Like they be out for the rest of the match.
Easy,
Some of the
Tiger.
referees deserve it though. Some of the referees deserve to get their stuff kicked in.
Listen, if I was a referee, I would take a good bump. You know, I'll be overselling that
Like
shit.
I
Justin,
kid you
if-
not.
Go ahead.
Because I swear, with some of these wrestlers, like if I'm a wrestler and I see the ref get on my nerves one time, I would advise you get out the ring right now.
You about to get some fights.
No, I was gonna say, like, Justin, if you were a ref, I would treat you like Taker did to that one ref in like '99, where they started the bell and then he just hand checked
I'll
him in the
treat him
back
like
of the head
I'll treat him
immediately.
like. Yeah, I see the Indies were like I think Aubrey Edwards tried to break up a pin and got super kicked in the head. That's jokes if you get him and get in a match with me.
That's not funny. Why am I laughing?
And then the best part of the match, we had R-Truth come out because that's his Cena is his hero. You know, he's a big Cena fan. And he goes like, he wants to see his hero win. He goes, I'm doing it for John Cena. I'm doing it for John.
Bro, I'm sorry.
But
I got
no,
PTSD after seeing this match.
he got RKO'd, and then you had the good old ding ding blow. Cena loves that ding ding blow
what?
now.
It's the ding ding special.
The
Get it
what?
right.
The ding ding special,
No,
And-
that's not what you said.
and Cena wins. Hit him in the
Hello?
old grapefruits, and Cena is still the champion. Which it came to no surprise that Cena was going to retain. And then after the match, he kind of seemed upset. I was like, man, he's like contemplating, like, man, I don't like it. I don't like doing this stuff. And then in the press conference, when R-Truth came up back there, because like, hey man, congratulations on the win stuff. Because like,
Ron Killings deserves a raise.
he deserves a raise. I love me some R-Truth. It's
Sorry, my bad.
my bad. Hey, we're gonna get little Jimmy in this feud.
That
We're
ain't
gonna-
PG.
We're gonna get little Jimmy back here, okay? Little Jimmy's gonna make a return.
I still say they need to sell little Jimmy toys, and it's just an empty box.
Just an empty box, little Jimmy. But no, he took the AA off, through that table during the press conference.
Everybody got silent.
I'm like, hey, yo, I said that was really good. That was probably one of the best press conferences I've seen.
but speak just real quick. They're obviously showing that they're being a little bit more open, like they're allowed to say wrestler, this and the other. Can we call it the FU, for God's sakes?
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest. I got PTSD now. After seeing this match, I got PTSD because now we already know it's probably gonna be John Cena and R-Truth, and the last time I seen that, capital punishment happened.
Hey,
I don't want to relive that.
R-Truth should have won that during match. I don't care
He
what
should've.
anybody says.
Should've.
I agree, but look
mean-
where we were.
Yeah,
This
that's
man,
That's true.
Super Cena. When he wore the
We-
Fruity Pebble colors, it was game over for everybody.
I'm like a little purple pinwheel, Rock. So go ahead and
Go ahead and blow
Oh,
me.
By the way, we need to. Oh, Justin.
Hey, the door was wide open there. You opened the demonetized.
I was stopping myself because I'm trying to be a better Christian. even though I'm not Christian, because Edge is not my best friend.
Christian,
But
you're
no, what we
finally on
need-
your own.
But what we need is John Cena versus Michael Tarver.
Oh. No, remember what he said? You see what he
okay,
said to
a
Michael
ba-
Tarver, the gay stripper. He said,
A backstory about that. DJ
DJ loves
Michael Tarver.
loves him. He
Michael
loves Michael
Marver.
Tarver.
He loves
I thought he was
Michael
about to say
Tarver.
Heath Slater coming back for a minute there.
I got kids.
Here we go. There we go.
Yes!
Yes! Leo, go ahead and give your thoughts because you got your PTSD, so I need to hear.
So it's like I feel like this match is probably the second best match I've seen with Randy and Cena. Not better, it's not as good as the match that they had at Breaking Point. That match I really enjoyed at Breaking Point. The other matches are hit or miss. TLC 2013, man.
Hey, that Iron Man match they had at was at Bragging Rights 2009. That was actually pretty good.
TLC 2013 was not that good. Where Rumble 2014 was not good either. Like, I mean, we knew what to expect. It was gonna be very limited and kind of telegraphed and kind of anticlimactic, especially the ending. R-Truth just looked like an idiot. He just came out there not knowing where he was supposed to be. Now he's probably gonna come out on SmackDown, wherever he's coming from, and he says, "You know what? You were my hero, but now you were my hero, but now you're my enemy, and I need to take that WWE Championship away from you." Now we're gonna get to Saturday's night main event, which is the second coming of none other than Capital Punishment. Same result again. Unfortunately, it would be nice, and I mean when I say this, it would be crazy if some way somehow R-Truth beat John Cena, beat his hero, and became WWE champion. That would probably be one of the biggest talking points in wrestling history right there. The fact that this man beat John Cena to become champion midway through his run.
Yeah, I agree. Adam, let's go to you.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. I mean, it was such a breath of fresh air and left a better taste in my mouth after the Mania main event. I did like all the gaga again with the run-ins, and Randy was trying to prevent himself, and then he goes on the RKO spree. This was fun. Now, personally, I didn't mind those other matches at the time with Randy and Cena, but the thing is, I think for a lot of people, it was just so much Randy and Cena fatigue, because it felt like their feud went on forever and ever and ever. And I would go back and watch those specifically. That was the time where I wasn't watching routinely, but I did like their matches. So like I'm in a different camp in that scenario. But regardless, this was fun. Cena going over it, but got no problem with it. I did like the fact that he got a little emotional when they were chanting "Thank you, Cena" when he was there at ringside, and I did like the presser afterwards with Truth getting AA'd, but at the same time too, AEW has ruined press scrums just because it's so they're ridiculous.
You know what
in
the
this
most
regards.
one of the most crazy thing I heard at press conference. I think actually I don't want to. I think I know who the person was or who the content creator was, but they asked The Rock like, "What's your Waffle House order?" Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's ridiculous, and they're. Again, yes, we know it's a work, but why are we asking questions about the work? It's like, what? How did you guys come up with that finish? No. Rock, how much steroids do you take? I mean, just ask stuff like that.
Casey, what'd you think?
The false chosen.
The false chosen.
The Charles Frozen.
The true chosen. Where'd he go? He was talking bad about a former NWA champion. Where'd he
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you.
Where'd Leo go? He was talking bad about a former NWA champion in Ron Killings. Shame. I mean, we're probably not going to get that R-Truth back, because that'd be cool. That'd be a good one. Anyway,
what's up?
And as for the little Jimmy, because I said this to Adam. Listen, I have a little Mitch plant, okay, and it's still got the seeds in there. So I would buy an empty box that said "Little Jimmy." I would do that, okay. No, but I didn't mind this match. I thought, I kind of knew what we were coming into, what we were gonna expect. I mean, these guys have faced each other so many times. They know how to put on a good match. They know they could just go out there and book a match entirely themselves, which they probably did, to be honest. They've done it for so long, and they've had so many matches together. It just works, you know. So I thought it was a great match. It wasn't anything, you know, spectacular. It wasn't anything
Sure.
groundbreaking. And my only thing is, and I'm torn because yes, they're teasing little like Easter eggs if he, you know, by end of the year he might, you know, turn back babyface. I obviously he needs to retire babyface. I get that, right? It's John Cena, but I want the heel run to go longer because we've been waiting for it for so long. I it, I feel like in a way, whenever it does end, it's not going to feel like it went long enough for how long he's been a babyface. But at least we're getting it because we never would have got it with Vince ever.
I agree.
But by the same token, too, especially the way he's talking to the fans, to me, it wouldn't make sense for him to, like, just before he retires, he goes, "Hey, my bad."
My bad.
Like, to me, like, let him go full board, and then
Yeah.
they'll cheer him whenever that last match happens. They'll give him the respect, and he'll obviously consume that. But to me, it would just be illogical. Like, come Survivor Series or December, he's like, you know, guys, you know all that stuff I said earlier in the year? I didn't mean it.
I was just kidding.
I'm just kidding. You can see me. You can. You can see me.
Guys, you can see me. I'm right here.
No,
Um,
it's your time, and my time is up. Here's some ice cream.
I do.
Well, listen here. What if Cena doesn't actually retire? He goes back to doing some Make-A-Wishes again.
Justin, did you give your thoughts or you didn't?
I did give my thoughts. Yes,
Okay,
yes,
cool.
I did.
All right. So as we wrap up, I agree with kind of all of y'all. That I feel like Backlash was a solid show, and I think it being only 5 matches was nice too. You know, like these type of pay-per-views that don't have a lot to them per se tend to be some of the better ones because you know you're not sitting there forever, and especially coming off of Mania 2 and such a quick turnaround, and it leaves you a little bit of room for Saturday night's main event and stuff like that too. So, and I think there's a Saudi show or something coming up.
There's a
Yeah,
side
we're
show
not-
in
we're not gonna be-
at
we're
the
not gonna
end
be
of
watching
June.
that. We're not going to be watching that. And by the way, the show would only be like 2.5 hours if they would cut the commercials.
That's true.
Yeah. If they cut the commercials, yeah. Because I went back and watched Backlash again because I didn't catch. There's one match I missed. Because I had to go back and rewatch it, and
I had to go back and watch the pre-show.
I had to go back and watch the pre-show because you know those matches on the pre-show are chef's kiss.
Did Leo leave because he hates us already?
No, he didn't leave. He went back over to the other stream. He's doing the watch along for NXT.
So he left.
And I'm sure his mother has us.
But as always, definitely hope
I love
you
how
guys enjoyed the
Justin's
show.
like he didn't leave. He just left.
He didn't leave. He's just not here anymore.
He's just not here. You can't see him. You can't.
Just-
Definitely hope you guys enjoyed the show. Justin's
Sorry,
the
guys.
paper
I had to
champion.
dip for a second.
No, I'm
Justin
the
Bell
real
next
champ.
time.
The real champ is here.
Justin's a paper champion, and
Yes.
The real champ is here. And
Paper
you guys
champ.
No, you guys are gonna. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna get a title belt, and I'm gonna put the ICWP logo. I'm gonna get that logo right up here. I'm gonna get that title belt made.
That's copywritten.
I'm
You'll
just
owe
going
us
to be what
royalties.
WWE does. I'm just going to invent my own title.
But as always, hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. See you.
I'm
Bye.
Ross Burgundy.
We'll see y'all later.
Adios.